CR101radio.com, podcasts, and more.
41. Learning and wisdom. A very wise distinction, which is at least as old as Solomon, is that made between learning and wisdom. Learning is the accumulation of facts and information. It is schooling and education. A very great amount of learning is commonplace in our day. On all sides, men of learning abound, and the world is quite largely controlled by experts, men of specialized learning and abilities. Learning is very important and has a necessary place in the world. Learning has made possible our technological culture and the tremendous growth of the various sciences. We are annually graduating great numbers of learned men who are rapidly expanding the information reservoirs of our society. But learning alone is not enough, and learning alone can make a man simply a learned fool. And a learned fool is simply a more dangerous man than a simple, ignorant fool. Learning must be linked with wisdom. Some of the wisest men I have known had relatively little schooling and book learning, but this did not prevent them from being wise. The wise man will always seek to expand the range of his learning because wisdom does not despise learning, although learning often despises wisdom. Solomon said, quote, "A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels." Proverbs 1:5. Unfortunately, the emphasis in our age is upon learning as such, as though learning in itself gives wisdom. Learned men increasingly feel that the rule of experts is the only answer to various problems. They assume that wisdom is the natural prerogative of the expert. As a result, we have had a steady growth of rule by experts, quote, brain trusters, end quote, college professors, learned men who, like Job's friends, believe that they are all the people and that wisdom was born with them and will die with them. Job 12:2. And the more these learned men govern us, the worse our problems become. Learning in its place is good, but it must be linked with wisdom or it becomes dangerous. Without faith in God, learned men become arrogant and act as little gods. Without the humility of faith, learned men despise all those who lack their learning and assume that their collection of information has given them a natural passport to power. The world is desperately in need of wisdom. It needs to know that the Lord giveth wisdom, Proverbs 2:6, and it needs to seek it by faith. God promises wisdom to all who ask Him for it. Quote, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him." James 1:5. The reason then that we have so many learned and unlearned fools is that they do not want wisdom. They will not ask for it. Quote, "Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil." Proverbs 3:7.